So I've been listening a few times to the song, and I've literally just listened to it again to get it again locked in my head.
Oh,
Again
nice. Good.
at Christmas time from the album right
Yes.
here, sitting here
Yeah.
in the studio. Um, so I want to rewind back a little bit before we get to the song
Yeah.
and go back to um, when how you first hooked up with John DeNicola, and I've interviewed him a couple times before. So go back. I know it goes back to when you were a teenager. Um,
Yes, it does.
how did it happen? How did you first connect with someone who's had pretty good legacy in music?
Yeah, he really did. Back in those days, I was part of like a jingle group, and I think I'd gotten like put on a demo with him or something, and went to his studio. This was like in the Village. This was, God, I think I was like 16 maybe. And I worked with him, and we just hit it off right away. And he kept calling me for jingles and little things like that. Back in those days, he was producing, other artists, and he was closer to like the Dirty Dancing side of things, and it just kind of more off the tail end of that. And it was amazing to meet him. I always thought he was a legend. And we just stayed in touch over the years, and we kept. And even when I was not doing that jingle stuff anymore, and not with that person anymore, we kept meeting up. He kept wanting me to do vocals. We became good friends, and we've really managed to stay in touch all these years. And he uses me for a lot of things, and I'm very grateful. I love John. John is one of the coolest people I've ever met in this industry. He's such a genuine and heartfelt person. And, his music is always just amazing. He's always got the best people and players, and just the vibes are immaculate. So,
I've heard a lot about his instruments as well.
yes. Oh, they're the best. The best. He's got
Mhm.
the,
What would be
yeah.
the most,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much of an instrumentalist you are, but is there anyone that you found like, okay, I gotta play this or put this on something? Is there, that's what I've asked some of the other people who like Robert LaRoche who've worked with him. Is there any that have perked up to you? They're like, oh wow, he's got what? Anything like
Oh,
that?
yeah. It's true. I don't play instruments that much. I'm learning different things, but over the years, like I just sing. So pretty much everything that he takes out, though, I'm like, wow, I really wish I could play guitar. I wish I could play bass. I wish I could play this, because he's got the coolest of the cool. But yeah, of mine, nothing's coming to me right now, except that I'm just always amazed whenever I go to any of his studios, any of his sessions, and I'm always amazed at the people there. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is who, So it's always just an amazing time, and it's always a really exciting time to be recording and doing stuff with him.
So how did this particular song come about? Of course, he's doing the OMAD Christmas compilation album with all the people
Yes.
on the roster. So specifically, how does this one song, he's like, okay, well, I'd like you to sing this. How, just fill in all the details on that.
Yeah. So we cut this song a little while ago. We cut the song actually a few years ago, and I was like super honored. I was like, of course. He's like, "Will you sing a Christmas song for me?" And I was like, "Will I? Of course." So I sang the song. I came up with some harmonies for him. It came out great in the studio. Loved it. It was beautiful. We had it for a couple of years. We did a little video. He put together this beautiful video, and I had actually added initially video of me and my daughter. I just had a girl, so I mean, she was probably around like 4 then, but still. And I was like singing in the video with her on my lap, and it was really sweet. And then over the years, he kind of like brought it out every Christmas. And then recently, when he had this album coming out, he was like, "Hey, I'm going to duet on this with you." And I was like, "Wow, that's amazing." So he added his vocals, and it became this, even like, it just stepped it up a level, and it became an even more cool and complex little tune that we just that kind of evolved over the years. And it's just a really beautiful song. I love its simplicity. I love how it makes me feel. I love the cheeriness, and I love being a part of such a beautiful album with such amazing people. I mean, the people on this album are insane. Um,
What's your favorite song of the other ones, if I dare say, given that you know a fair number of people there on the roster? So which one is your favorite
uh,
of the songs?
Probably have to be with Peter and Arwen, "Baby So Beautiful."
Mhm.
Yeah, that one is just, yeah. I mean, I love them all, though. I can't
Right.
really, hard to choose.
It was interesting what he said in the liner notes of there's a wide variation of sounds and effects and everything. And there's some interesting
There
ones
is.
on
There's a
there.
lot of different. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, everyone's got their own little piece of the magic, like the puzzle. And so I love how eclectic the music is. I love how eclectic the whole mix is.
Mhm.
And it's really well rounded out. You get a beautiful sense of everybody's kind of individual key pieces that they're bringing. And I'm so honored to be a part of it. It's especially in this day and age, it's like, and having a real LP out, real physical record with a beautiful cover artwork. It's really special to be a part of with such incredible musicians. And like I said, John is like the nicest guy in this business. I know some pretty amazing people. John is up there. Like, John is family. He's amazing.
That's
So,
cool. That's really
yeah.
cool. What is the coolest aspect of Christmas for you? And I ask this as a father of a 3+ year old now. So my wife and I observed a change in how she took Christmas this year. Like, this is the first year she's unwrapping presents and getting super excited. Like, okay, we've hit that. So for you, you've got a daughter, older than that, but you've got a daughter.
Yeah.
Like I said, how is Christmas for you? And did it change at all after you had a kid?
Oh, absolutely. I always loved Christmas. I'm all about like the lights. It's just a beautiful time of year. I love the lights. I love the scenery. I love the music. I love the feeling, the vibes, everything. So it's already such a special time of the year to me. Nostalgia, thinking about memories past and future stuff. And then having a child, watching her experience it, making Christmas even more special for her every year, seeing her grow up and witness Christmas through her eyes and seeing it through the eyes of a child again. It brings you back to your childhood, makes you remember all that magic again. And it's just like, it's almost like experiencing it again. In a way, your childhood, but it's different because you're older, of course. So it's this really cool, nostalgic, bittersweet. It's like it happens over and over again every year, and it's a different reincarnation of that childhood magic. And it's beautiful to witness. It's really special to be a part of. I love it. I love making Christmas as special as I can for her. I just want to make it magical for her. And I realize that's what my parents did for me, and that's what it's about. So yeah, I love it.
So
I love it.
you have a Christmas tree, of course, as your background. Now, is that literally is your background is a tree? Now, is that a
Yeah, I
real
love
one or artificial?
the lights. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, real tree. Very good. Okay. Does it still have the Christmas tree smell to it?
It does. It
Okay,
does.
good.
I'm all about the smell. You have a real tree. You have to have a real tree. I mean, listen, I have no shade towards the fake ones. I love the look of it, but I need to have that pine smell,
hmm
you
hmm
know.
Yeah, we're at some
So
point we're going to go to that. We're still in the fake tree. I like, but it's more convenience and such. But I do miss the smell from the real ones I would have growing up.
yeah,
So
not Christmas for me without that pine smell. You got to have that fresh fir
mhm.
smell.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
exactly why that, but there's something right there, and so yeah, it's coming at some point. Again, probably having a 3-year-old and having her probably getting like the sap might be a little bit of an issue right now, but that's going to
Right.
change.
I totally understand why some people do the fake tree. I get it.
Yeah, and there are other extenuating reasons going on.
Yeah.
You mentioned jingles.
Yes.
We're and maybe it's out there somewhere as I was doing my research for it, but like what jingles to the point of like were they were they like radio, commercial, TV? What is it? Anything that someone would be like, oh my gosh, I remember hearing this on the radio or something, maybe outside of New York or whatever. But what kind of jingles did you do?
Yeah, so I was really lucky. I kind of got in on the tail end of the business. There's not as much jingles going on right now. I wish there were more. It does happen, but it's fewer and far more in between now. But I was lucky. I kind of got on the tail end, and I did a Venus Gillette commercial that was really awesome. That ran for years. It was the
Really?
"I'm your Venus, I'm your fire." So I did that. That was on TV, and that was like a national commercial that ran for a few years, and that was really fun. I'd always be like, it's me. And the TV would come on, and it was really fun. That ran for a long time. So that was like my big one. I did like a Folgers one. That was a radio spot. I had a GE commercial, a national one. Nationals were always amazing because nationals meant that they were all over the world. And you knew it was going to be a big one. And I think I did an Atlantis commercial for the hotels and casinos. Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was fun.
gosh.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, those were the big ones, though. Those were the big ones.
Very
That was
cool.
always an amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you'd go into these jingle houses, and John was doing this back in the day too. and you'd have like four of these people competing for the one spot. And so I'd sing on all of them, and I'd be like that much closer. Well, at least I'll sing it. So it was always really fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I have to YouTube some of those or see if something's out there. I'm sure I'm sure anyone listening
Yeah.
to this and myself,
Time.
right? Yeah, we saw it, we've heard it. We just don't necessarily
You've heard
remember.
it. Yeah, you've heard me.
Right, I'm
You've
sure.
heard
Yeah,
me.
like oh, finally get to meet the person behind the jingle. But I mean, those voices are sometimes about. I mean, I don't want to say as famous because the names aren't attached to them, but
Right.
they are in the oral sense, they are as
Yeah.
famous because you hear those voices so many times. Like you say, Folgers right now. Now I keep thinking of the best part of waking up and thinking of those, and like it's not necessarily
Yeah.
you,
It's
but
like iconic. It's like in the psyche of the American, like, you hear it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So we do know those. That's really, really cool. So
Yeah.
other stuff you've done, but this is let's get to contemporary times in like 2023, 2024. And I've listened through the songs that you have on Spotify,
Yeah.
which is diverse. When I was
Yeah.
hearing My Man, I was immediately thinking SZA, like I was thinking right to
Yeah.
her current stuff. I don't know if that was an influence, but that was what my brain immediately jumped
Yeah.
to as I was hearing that. What was it?
Right now I've got more covers going on. I'm working on original stuff. I work with a really fantastic producer and musician and engineer. His name is Danny Flam. He's fantastic. I'm working with more and more people, obviously, as well. But right now we sort of started with covers. We're getting into more originals, and SZA is a huge influence on me. I love her. I think her songwriting is absolutely incredible. I listen to people like her to try to just kind of absorb it, and like, hopefully I'll be able to like just maybe write like that in a way. But she's incredible. I have such a fondness for a lot of artists today that are doing their thing. I think Chappell Roan is incredible. I love her. And even Sabrina Carpenter, like some of her things, like even just the little, it's pop, but it's good pop. So I love what
Yes.
some people are doing right now. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And yeah, it's just been a lot of fun. I think music might be coming back a little bit, like the tunes that we love and remember, that kind of ear candy stuff. It's exciting. It's exciting. I think for a minute, like music was getting a little, it was starting to sound a little bit kind of the same and a little generic. And I have to say this year and last year has been kind of exciting in terms of new music, I think. So
I would strongly agree with that. That was the sense that I
yeah.
had of like, like here's an old song. This one sounds the same. Ba 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 ba. And that's the sense I got from
Yeah.
2024.
Starting to get a little, yes, definitely. I think things are starting to shift a little bit. It's kind of exciting. So
Yeah, that's good. So are
yeah.
you planning like an
Yeah.
EP or an album? What is do you have like something particular in mind, or are you just going song by song and seeing what comes out?
Recently we went song by song, but right now we've realized that we have enough now for an EP. So we are going to be putting out an EP soon in the new year. And, because we've got like, I would say 9 or 10 songs right now that are like ready to release. So we just got to put it together. We got to put together the concept, the album concept, the cover art, and and releasing it, and and advertising it it's a little bit of a new game for me. I'm not as privy to those things, so learning about that has been interesting. It's been a little bit of a learning curve. John knows it's a lot. A lot goes into it, but it's fun, and I have fun no matter what. Like I love to sing, I love to do art, I love to perform. So any way that I'm making music, any way that I can be involved in this at all is great. I don't have to be number one this, number one that. I just want to be in there. I just want to be in there, and I want to be working with people like John. I want to be working with great musicians, great people that I vibe with, that I enjoy, that I have a good time with. That's important to me for my sanity. And yeah, and just putting out as much as I can. But yes, an EP will be coming in the new year for sure.
So what do you see yourself doing in like, I'll just pick out like 5 years from now?
Oh man, I hope to be singing as my full-time job, and I hope to be making a very comfortable living. And I hope to be traveling and performing. And I'm also like, I also do weddings, which I love doing. And I know like some people think like, oh, it's, that's nice, but that's not the real stuff. But for me, it's I get to sing. I get to be there and witness people having their best moments of their lives. I get to sort of usher them into this new moment in their lives. And I get to work as a singer, which is not easy in this day and age. It's hard to find gigs that pay, and I find it a beautiful way to practice, to keep up on my abilities, and to make someone's day amazing. And so I love it. So weddings, singing, releasing music, more singing, gigging live. I just want to do it all. I just want to be involved, and I want to be working with people in songwriting, and I want to just be creating music. And hopefully a lot of that will be with John as well. So
That would be good, and he would be a good source for that, obviously.
yeah.
Before I let you go, one other question I forgot to ask, but what is your favorite Christmas song?
Oh man, my favorite Christmas song. That's such a good question. I should have prepared for this. Favorite Christmas song. Oh man. You know, I'm thinking what's coming to mind right now. I might have a different one, but what's coming to mind right now is Silent Night, because me and my mother could sing. It's funny. My mother could sing, but she couldn't really carry a tune. She had a beautiful tone, but there was no pitch going on. But when we did sing together, she loved to sing. She loved it. She loved that I sang. She wanted to sing with me, but we used to sing Silent Night together. And I just remembered that, me and my mom doing that together. And there was something really calming and magical about that. And I just remember singing it with her. So I do kind of have a fondness for that particular song. I'm sure there's others, but that one has a particular beautiful nostalgia for me that I won't forget. So
That's pretty cool. Well,
yeah.
maybe give that one a rendition and put that one out there as
No,
well.
that's a good idea. Yeah, I might do that. That's a good idea. Yeah.
For sure. Well, this has been a fun chat, and it's a good album. Again, Make a Joyful Noise, and I know we're
Yeah,
now
definitely.
post-Christmas, but the nice thing with Christmas music is, well, you can come back to it every Christmas. So it's worth listening to in 2025 and beyond from OMAD Records. Cassidy, it was good to chat with you today. All the best with all the music going forward, and see what else comes out with the EP, et cetera, going into the future.
Thank you so much. It was so nice talking to you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome as well. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.